What's happening, Pod Squad? Welcome in to an episode of Stripe It Like It's Hot. Solo episode. We haven't done one of these in a while. But I'm really glad because I'm fired up today. I got a good one. Got a good one that's it's gonna be like just super relevant information if you are thinking of starting a business. Man, a lot of people have been reaching out lately, like thinking about starting an asphalt business. Maybe you've already started and you're going into like your second year, your third year, you're starting to grow. But truthfully, the information I'm going to talk about here on this episode, I think it's super relevant for me. And I'm going to explain kind of like why and how I'm kind of integrating this into my business and personal life. So no matter what phase you are in your business journey, I think you're going to appreciate this. And if I had to put a title on this, the title would be, It's Never Been Easier Than Now. So there's two things that are inspiring this episode that I'm titling, It's Never Been Easier Than Now. So number one, I think most people are kind of familiar with, general podcast statistics, but I was listening to just a super interesting one it was Chris Williamson, who I've really come to appreciate a lot lately. So if you've never heard of him, he was just recently on the Joe Rogan show. I think it was like last week. It was very recently. So his show is really good. It's called Modern Wisdom, and he interviews some great people, and I think he's just a great, thoughtful British guy. He once said in one of his interviews that 90% of podcasts don't make it past episode 3. Did you know that, man? 90% don't make it past episode 3. And then he said of the 10% that do, 90% of those ones don't make it past episode 20. So just by nature of having a podcast and getting to episode 21, you are immediately in the top 1 percentile of podcasting. Absurd. And the reason why I think that's absurd is while you're listening to this in a podcast format, it's not easy to do consistently. Like to actually sit down, grab a microphone that you can get on Amazon for like $50 and record it into a computer takes like next to no effort. Like you can just sit there and talk and just do that 3 times and you're immediately in the top 10%. It's doing it consistently over and over and over and over. Like, I don't even know how many times have we been in this studio, Matt? Like, it's all a blur now. A lot. Yeah, so we're at episode over 100 of this show. And I just think it's really interesting because on one hand, I think it's a bit of a dichotomy. On one hand, I often believe that starting is the hardest part of anything, right? You got a big project that you need to do. Maybe it's a work-related thing. Got to improve this system. Got to change our estimating software, whatever it is. And you put it off for the longest time because you're like, man, it's going to be just a nightmare of a project. And then you start it and you realize it actually wasn't that big a deal. And then you kind of get into a groove. But when you look at the podcasting statistics, it kind of tells the opposite. Like these people started, right? Like some people registered a podcast and got artwork and like registered a name and they bought like the upload software to push it to all the servers and literally didn't record an episode, which is crazy. And some of them did 1 episode or 2 episodes. It's pretty interesting. And so I think about that a lot. That was the first part of the inspiration for this episode because like what stops someone who starts a podcast and does 3 episodes from doing it over and over and over and over again? Like, other than time, like you've already got the equipment, you've already proved you can do it, but people just stop. And I'm going to apply this to business here, but there's a second thing that popped up in my life where I'm like, this can't be real. So, Matt, you ever heard of StepBet? No. Never heard of StepBet? Okay. StepBet. It's an app. So StepBet's pretty cool. I'm going to butcher the explanation because I don't really know it that well, but I was invited to StepBet. So I'm in top contractor school. Love those guys to death. They did a StepBet challenge, I think like 2 months ago, and I was asked to join, and I was like, I don't know what it is. No thanks. And then I got basically like last day recruited with the director of operations. He texted me and he's like, I've been instructed to get you on this. So basically all it is, it's like you just wear a Fitbit and you have a set number of steps that you have to do every day. And you don't compete against everyone else in the group, though. This is why StepBet's cool. So you just compete against yourself. So you chip in some money for yourself just to register in the app and join a group. So I joined this group of like 20 people, and like I'm embarrassed to actually tell you what my daily step requirement is because it's like pathetically low. So I think the way it works is it takes like your average of the last like 2 months and it goes, okay, this dude doesn't walk a lot, or maybe you do walk a lot. And then it sets a target slightly above that. Obviously the whole idea is that like if you don't walk much, it's trying to get you to walk more. If you're already like super active, it's going to challenge you even that little bit further. So the idea is, you get 20 people in this group or however many people. Everyone chips in $40 just to register. Now, if you don't follow through on the 6-week commitment, that's all it is. You have to do it for 6 weeks. Daily step goal. And I will add, you only have to do it 6 out of the 7 days. There's like a rest day in there. So not totally doable. If you make it to the end of the 6 weeks and you compete against yourself and you do the daily steps, you get the money back from everyone else that didn't finish, which is kind of compelling. So like, yeah, you'll get your entry fee back, which is just the promise you made to yourself to do something, but it will also disperse the other entry fees from people who didn't finish. So 20 people signed up in this group, and I don't even know everyone who's in it. So I'm like, hopefully they're not listening, and I'm like throwing shade to them because genuinely like something might happen. But like we're 2 weeks into this thing, Matt, we're 2 weeks into this 6-week StepBet challenge. Again, I have like pitiful amount of steps. It's the easiest thing in the world for me to do. How many people do you think are still in it after 1 week? Just doing a daily step goal that they paid money to do. What's your guess?
16?
You're bang on. 4 people out after 1 week. So they paid money to join it, and they're gone after a week. So I don't know, who knows? Maybe they break an ankle, right? That would suck. Or maybe you get sick. So I'm not like actually trashing people. But now I just checked before, we're now down to 15. So we're like 2 weeks in. We're down to 15 people, which tells me by the end, we're probably going to be at like 10. So like 10 out of 20 people. If you take those 2 things that I just told you, the statistics of podcasts, this kind of anecdotal story about StepBet and people making commitments to themselves. If you are thinking of starting a business, if you have started a pavement business and you're just starting to get growing, or if you've grown a business to like 7 figures plus, and you're facing those new challenges, I implore you to consider the fact that at this point in human history, it has never been easier to consistently beat your competition. It's never been easier. Like the barrier to you succeeding in business is basically you showing up and doing the work consistently. Like record 4 episodes of a podcast. You're in the top 10%. And if you think back to, if you wanted to start a striping business back in like the year 2000, like 25 years ago, like, I don't know how you would even do it. Like, obviously it's possible, but like you didn't have books to help you. You didn't have Facebook groups to help you. There was no online stores. Like right now there's e-commerce. You can go buy pavement equipment online, right? Or striping equipment. You can buy crack sealing equipment, seal coating stuff. But if you wanted to get into this industry like 25 years ago, like you had to work to figure it out. So you had to go to like vendors, build relationships, try and leech information, or go get a job somewhere with somebody doing it. And then you had to figure out like, well, there's no websites back then. So you had to figure out how to market to people back like 25 years ago when print was a thing. So you're probably going to have to like spend a ton of time on the phone, a ton of time with printed cards, dropping stuff off. Like it would have just been a grind, right? Like even for you to figure out, like just talking to somebody yesterday on the phone, literally like hasn't even registered their tax number yet, wants to start a striping business. You can figure that out in like 30 minutes. Like it's stupid easy. Matt, you and I have had this chat before too about like, it's so easy because you just go online and you figure it out because 50 million people have already done it and they've told you how to do it on Facebook and Reddit. And like, it's the easiest thing in the world. But people managed to figure this out 25 years ago. And they were able to run a business and grow a business. A lot of them are still in existence. And so now when you look forward to where we are now, like, the same type of, what's the same phenomenon that you see happening with podcasts, like 90% of people just stopping after like 3 episodes. Maybe people aren't stopping their business after like 3 jobs or 3 years or 3 months or whatever. But like, that's the same thing that's happening in business. Like if you want to start or grow, all you have to do is consistently be like, literally you just have to be consistent. That's it. You don't even have to be great. You don't even have to be good. You could be like markedly average as a business person, as a human being, and still outperform your competition. So even though it's easier now than ever to start, like there's just a flood of information that can help you get started. Like this podcast is a good example. Like it's all for free. We just chat about it and we record videos for it on company time, and we do that and we give it away for free to help people start. You can get all that information right now for free, and yet you still will consistently see people not making application of it. They just drop off the earth. They stop doing the things that produce the results that makes them succeed in business. And I think it's important for no matter what stage of the business journey you're in, just starting, just growing, or if you're like me and you're like, you've got a 7-figure business now and it's still growing, like you just have to keep going. That's really it. So on a personal level, this is actually a lesson that I'm learning, and in business too, because I have a super addictive personality. Like I know myself, right? I don't gamble. I've been to Vegas like 4 times, literally never gambled once, because I know myself. I'm not going to do it. It's a slippery slope. I'm extremely competitive. I want to win, even if I'm competing against myself. Like this step bet thing, like there's no way I'm going to lose. Like it's impossible. It's just me against me. I'm going to crush it. I've even done like some crazy, like I've done 75 hard before. Were you here when I did 75 hard? Yeah, damn, that was awful. It was like, it's legit terrible. 75 days, 2 workouts a day, 45 minutes each. One of them has to be outside. And I often did workouts at like minus 25 degrees. And it was just like horrendous, like no breaks, no nothing. You have to do it. Like that's like, I'm wired that way. I can just do it. But I'm also like, so I'm not a very balanced person by nature. Like I have to force myself to be a balanced person. And my spouse, my wife can attest to that. Like she will often tell me like, dude, if you're complaining to me that you only have like 2,000 steps a day for all week because you work in an office, like just go out for a walk. And I'd be like, no, that's dumb. I'm either going to do 75 hard and like kill myself, or I'll do nothing at all, which is not the right approach, but that's just how I'm wired. This step bet thing has taught me that in my personal life, like you genuinely don't have to reinvent the wheel. You don't have to do 75 hard. You don't have to like take out a $250,000 business loan and like grow your business that way. You just literally have to do the same boring crap day after day after day. That's it. That's it. And if you do that in your business, if you're willing to just show up and be consistent, you will outpace your competition. So a lot of people, a lot of business owners of striping companies and seal coating companies are so concerned about competition. It happens in my company. Like there's people in my company who are like watching what our competitors are doing in Prince George, and they're worried and they're like, oh man, they got that job that we've done before. We lost that job to them this year. And they're so focused on what our competition is doing. And like, I'm not saying our competition's bad or terrible or not consistent. I'm not saying that at all. What I'm saying is the value of how you succeed in business, how you actually make progress, has nothing to do with your competition, because it's never been easier to differentiate yourself, and it's never been easier to win in business, despite the fact that there's a bazillion resources out there. And you might have a competitor start tomorrow that does the same thing you do, and maybe they even do it better. Maybe they've got a nicer website. Maybe they're a more natural, charismatic person and they can sell jobs easier. Maybe they're more efficient in the field. It doesn't matter. It's never been easier than what it is now to successfully win in your business. You just show up and do the work. Matt, what do you think about all that? One thumb up, 2 thumbs up. Thank you. Man, it's wintertime right now, which for us at our company here in beautiful Prince George, BC, Canada, it's great because we can go plow snow and make money. But for a lot of you guys listening, you have striping businesses. You don't want to get into snow removal. I totally get it. It's not for everyone. How do you make money in the winter? That is the question. Our friends at Mighty Line can help you. So we are a proud believer, and they sponsor this show for a reason. The product is awesome. So if you don't know what Mighty Line is, go to the website. In fact, I'm going to give you a link where they will actually give you a free sample kit. MightyLineTape.com/stripe-it. MightyLineTape.com/stripe-it. They're going to send you a free sample kit of some of their most commonly used products. This product can be used indoors during the wintertime in industrial facilities, warehouses. They have custom work, so much stuff that your customers will love, and it will help keep their facilities safe too. So if you don't want to go plow snow, but you'd still like to make money in the winter, MightyLineTape.com/stripe-it. That will let them know that you were listening, and they will send you a free sample kit of their products. So one thing that will really help you, in my opinion, this is my experience, one thing that really helped me basically apply this, even though this is something I've been thinking a lot of recently, like I can now look back on the previous years in business and go, yeah, like, you know, I definitely wasn't perfect at it, but a lot of the growth that my pavement business has come from has just been from doing the work consistently. One of the things that really helps with that is having a mentor or a group of people in your corner, basically helping you be accountable and reminding you that it's not the end of the world if you lose a job to your competitor. It's not the end of the world if a customer's unhappy. It's not the end of the world if an employee quits. In the moment, those things feel like the end of the world, right? And that's what throws people off their stride, right? It causes people to be like, I'm not going to do my step bet challenge because I've got a cough today. And it's like, yeah, you might, you might not be able to, but you probably can. You just have to kind of show up and do it. Having somebody in your corner in business can really, really help you. So, to the humble listener, if you have a business and you're trying to grow it, you're trying to get to $1 million in revenue mark, you have some sort of financial goal, like go find someone to help you. Come talk to me. I would love the opportunity to at the very least chat with you to see if maybe I could be a good fit to try and help you. But at the very least, find some sort of peer group. And if you want some like referrals that I don't get, like I'm not an affiliate for any group, but I can definitely share with you some of the networks, some of the people that can really help you stay consistent. It can be really challenging sometimes to do it all by yourself. When something goes wrong, you kind of feel like the world's crumbling. And if you don't have someone there to help you, it kind of sucks. So having someone in your corner can help you stay consistent and keep you on track to win in business. But ultimately the message today is don't give up. Just like Ronnie Lott here. Can we see Ronnie Lott in the shot? Okay, good. Yeah. No, don't give up. Don't give up. Stay consistent. Do the boring work. It's not glorious, but that's the point. You embracing the non-glorious work will put you ahead of your competition and keep you going for a long time to come in business. So keep your stripes hot. Thank you for listening. We'll talk to you next week.